Thankfully, few know what it's like to be targeted and shot by a maniac attempting to mass murder. And our next guest survived that harrowing ordeal, but endured grueling recovery after being critically wounded. Congressman Steve Scalise joins us with his unique perspective on the Florida school shooting, immigration. We got a lot to cover. Get over here. Good to see you.
So great to be on your show.
Great to
congratulations on getting this.
Absolutely. I can't believe we missed you at Mardi Gras.
I know. Rode in Bacchus, and you were out there on the streets. I would have pummeled you with all kind of beads.
You hit me with a medallion right here. It's still bruised. I can't even touch my nose. Let's talk about what these kids are going through, what the school is going through, the rush for gun control, your colleagues pushing that. Blumenthal, Pelosi, Chris Murphy from my home state of Connecticut instantly goes to the floor of the Senate and says this is disgusting, basically pointing the finger at NRA politicians.
It's disgraceful anytime there's any kind of tragedy. I mean, a shooting, a bombing, whatever. Immediately, you've got a group of legislators that go run out and start calling for gun control to take away the rights of law-abiding citizens. And they don't even know the fact of that particular event. And again, look at their bills, read their bills. They have nothing to do with these kind of shootings. What I first think we need to do is pray for the people that died, and there were unfortunately way too many people who died, but the families too. And all of these kids, Laura, there were a lot of kids that witnessed this that are going to have this with them the rest of their lives. The prayers helped me tremendously. And unfortunately, there's some on the left that actually mock praying for people. They say, oh, do gun control, don't pray for people.
That's so trite.
I needed those prayers. Those prayers helped me and my family at a really difficult time, and you could feel them. These families need prayer. They need counseling. They need help. But look, let's go find out the root of these problems. And we're already seeing there were so many things that slipped through the cracks. The telltale signs were there. I mean, when every kid in the school says, geez, I mean, this kid was the one that we knew would be a shooter.
Yeah.
Why didn't anybody else know about that? I mean, these are the problems we need to go address.
Bill Clinton today tweeted about the assault weapons ban. He said, look, in my 10 years, I guess 10 years or so, the assault weapon ban was in place, 94 to 2004. He couldn't have gotten that particular weapon. What do you respond to?
You know, you go find your law that was going to prevent this or the next shooting. And first of all, whatever criminal did these actions violated a whole host of other laws, too. So if you think there's some magic unicorn law that's going to stop it from happening, just keep in mind he violated probably dozens of laws already, including murdering people. It's against the law. So, you know, this idea that one magic law is going to stop the next one from happening, it's not. What you do see in common, number one, you see a lot of mental illness in common, but you also see gun-free zones. Shooters know that if you go to a gun-free zone, you're the only one with a gun and nobody else has. Fortunately, with me, I had 2 law enforcement agents that were with me that had guns that could counter the shooter. And ultimately, that's what took him down. It was other people with guns that took down the shooter. Every day in America, there are people that use guns to stop crimes, to defend their own families. That's what our founding fathers wrote about, by the way. They believed in an innate right of people to have guns for self-defense. And these people that want to take away your rights, guised under all of these tragedies, go pray for the families. Care about these families. Don't try to promote your agenda in the middle of a tragedy.
How are you doing in the aftermath of all this? Now that you've gotten through all these surgeries, you still have to use those crutches to walk. You kept such an unbelievable attitude. I know there were so many dark days, but you kept. It was inspiring. Well, I mean, it was inspiring to so many of us. I mean, we were talking about it earlier. But do you have any PTSD from what happened to you? Do you have flashbacks to that day?
I really don't. And I mean, look, I've talked through this with my security detail, with my colleagues that were out there on the field. Yeah. I mean, look, this guy intended, and if there weren't other people with guns to stop the shooter, there would have been 15 members of Congress executed that day. And there weren't, luckily, by the grace of God, first of all. I mean, there were true miracles that happened on that field. I saw them. I experienced some of those. And so I don't focus on the negative. I saw so much good in people. I saw millions of people praying for me that I never met before.
Yeah, I was one of them.
It was thank you for the prayer.
We had great prayer chains.
It mattered.
Yeah.
My own community, obviously, family, friends, that mattered so much. But then just the kindness of strangers, and I saw it in so many different ways. I mean, Bono did a U2 concert. I'm a big U2 fan. He prayed for me before his concert at the beginning of a concert.
He's a big gun control guy too, but that's all right.
He prayed, and it really did matter. So I mean, the power of prayer is real. And look, I got to see so much of the goodness in people, and I'm still working through. Going to physical therapy 3 days a week.
Are you in pain constantly?
I don't have constant pain. I have some issues I'm still working through. And obviously, the nerve damage, especially on my left side where the bullet entered, I'm trying to learn how to walk again without crutches. And look,
Right.
I want to go compete for my job again at second. I was a starting second baseman.
I was going to say,
and,
I played college softball. We're getting you out there. We're going to play.
This is hard pitch,
no doubt about it.
80-mile-an-hour fastball in a major league ballpark. I want to get back out there again.
Come on. No bullet's going to stop you from going out there.
I'm blessed. I'm blessed by God to be able to spend time with my family, to be able to get back to work again, doing some really neat things here.
And let's talk about immigration, because the president had 4 pillars. They seem to be represented in the Goodlatte bill and the House of Representatives, which I've supported from the beginning. 800,000 got amnesty, not 1.8. But this thing went down in flames in the Senate today. I mean, a lot of Republicans voted against the president's idea of how to move forward, which I found to be stunning.
Well, and this is why you take votes. You need to see where people are. And look, getting 60 votes in the Senate is going to be hard for anything. Getting 218 in the House is going to be hard. I'm a co-sponsor of the Goodlatte-McCall bill. This bill really does solve the problem. And by the way, we're working with President Trump and his whole team. You want to talk about border security, building the wall, ending chain migration, ending this crazy lottery. You pick names out of a hat.
Democrats don't want to end chain migration. They want to explode immigration to replace the electorate.
And we solve the DACA program, not with a amnesty path. You get in the back of the line. You be like everybody else if you want to come to this country. This is a great country that people still want to come to because of the American dream. Let's make it about merit. Let's get back to rule of law.
Do you think the Democrats want to give Trump a victory on immigration, really?
I think right now they're more concerned about politics. But look, there's a growing number of people that want to solve this problem. This Goodlatte-McCall bill solves the real problem. If somebody's got a better idea, bring it. But that's a bill that deserves merit. I hope we pass it.
Congressman, so great to see you. I'm gonna see you in Mardi Gras next year. Next year, now that I'm hooked.
You're gonna ride on the float.
Oh, come on!
It's so much fun.
I'll visit in a mask.
And
I'll
then you
pretend
eat
I'm
all
one of
that great food in New Orleans.
Oh, come on! Great to see you. And you look great. And I'm playing softball with you.
Great to be with you.
All right.